Hey everyone, Arsenal drawn 1-1 with Fulham. I've done a fan cam on AFTV, but I need to do a match report, and I'll be really honest, this isn't much of a match report, if I'm totally honest with you all. This is me having a good old rant about things that I'm really bored of now, and bored of talking about when it comes to Arsenal. And it's just amounted to this frustration. I'm here still at the AFTV studios, nice little backdrop with Arsenal players. But I think, look, what's the match report? That I don't think Arteta should have moved Timber to left back and ruined that whole dynamic with Ødegaard and Saka. I think that was a complete waste. I think that Thomas Partey, when he's playing that well in midfield, should be kept in midfield. I think that clearly the injuries are a problem. I'm not going to say that's not... It's not an excuse, but I can't pretend that doesn't matter. Of course it matters. You don't have, a back... We could have fielded of injured players. Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Calafiori. That's a better back four that went out there. So yes, I understand there's context to all this. First half, Fulham scored with it. I'm not being bitter when I say this. I'm being deadly honest. My genuine analysis of the game is that Fulham had one chance and scored from it. And that Arsenal had many chances, mainly from the second half. But I said on AFTV that we've got this ability to turn actually good chances into them not looking like they're very good chances at all. Havertz has sort of forgotten how to strike a ball since Southampton. Jesus was through on goal, just had to take it down and he's in, and he just didn't. He just kind of pulled out of it. Martinelli was offside the one time we did score. We're going to talk about Martinelli. And there were a few other moments like that. There was another moment. Oh, Partey's header. Oh, the Partey header. Saliba in the first half too, that Partey header that he missed. So look, Arteta got things wrong. I'm annoyed about his selection, but Arsenal still created more than enough to win that game. Yet they didn't, so we're talking about the individuals. But then when you played that well, when you created that many chances, part of you thinks, well, we must have played well because Fulham are a good side. And yeah, Arsenal weren't diabolical today. But I'm really bored of some of the same old conversations that keep coming out. So let me tell you what I'm bored of. I'm bored of every time we go 1-0 down in a football match, I have to question everything about Arsenal, about Mikel Arteta, about the journey. Everything comes into question when we're 1-0 down 20 minutes into a football match. It's just, I cannot believe the amount of... It just takes nothing for us just to bam. Like, we must question it. We're not talking the 89th minute, doesn't look like we're going to win. We're talking like 20 minutes, we're 1-0 down, we're not looking at absolute best. And oh my God, we need to have a discussion about everything to do with this football club and the bigger question. And I'm not saying that the questions aren't valid. I'm saying that it just feels like we're 1-0 down. Like we're still in the middle of a football match. And like people are demanding that, I give my take on Mikel Arteta at Arsenal 20 minutes into a Fulham game. I'm so bored of everything that doesn't feel quite right about Arsenal being this massive conversation around the club. Now, let me repeat, the questions are valid. But I kept saying, look, we might pull ourselves back into this game when we did. And we had the chances to win it. So for everything that I've been moaning about when it comes to Arteta and the 11 he put out there and the way he ruined certain dynamics, he'd have every right to say, yeah, but the team did more than enough. Like, ultimately, they should have scored, 2-3 more goals in that second half. And I can't really disagree with that either. The other thing I'm bored of, I'm so sorry, because players were worse than him. And he almost got a brilliant assist to win us the game. But I'm bored of defending Martinelli. I'm bored of constantly talking about work rate and what he tries and whatever. I thought that was a really disappointing cameo from him. Really disappointing. He came on, had the beating of Tete once or twice, but ultimately would amount to nothing. Picked out one great cross, but couldn't stay on side. Petulantly, obviously gave the ball obviously went off him. He throws the ball into the ground, gets a yellow card. He then throws the ball at Tete. Could easily have got a second yellow card, but didn't for that. I just thought he showed immense immaturity. And then Rice got into... I thought Rice had a much better second half. Then Rice got into something at the end of the game. And I just thought we looked so mature from our finishing in terms of keeping composed in front of goal to our approach to the game. I just was so disappointed. And Look, Martinelli probably doesn't deserve me to speak this much about him. I did on the watch long, and I mentioned him in the fan cam. So it probably makes it out that I've really got it in for him. I've defended this guy loads. I don't think many people have spoken more positively about Martinelli this season and last season for what his actual output has been. But today was, I think, a day where I just stopped and went, I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. Actually, no, I'm not sure it's been recently. I think today's the day I went, he's not and is never going to be, for me, a starting left winger for Arsenal at the level we need him to be. I think he hasn't kept up, which is a shame, because I think in 22-23, when everyone else, couldn't keep their calm and composure, I thought he was the one that showed up in the running. And I always wanted to believe a player with that mentality and that talent, who got that many goals and goal contribution, had that many moments, goal at Anfield, I just thought, don't give up. But I'm starting to, and I really, really hope I'm proven wrong. But there's others. Trossard, huffed and puffed. There's a greed that I'm not liking in his game at the moment, but okay. Kai Havertz did absolutely nothing. Kai Havertz did nothing today. So I say I'm bored. I'm also bored. I'm bored of defending Martinelli. I'm bored of, the Mikel Arteta discussion overall. I'm also bored of Arteta seeing something tactically. There needs to be a tactical change because someone's out, and he'll just shuffle the pieces around like he did Kai Havertz, move him out of position because Ødegaard was out, and Havertz hasn't looked the same since. I'm bored of always thinking that the grass is greener. So Havertz starts, he's not playing very well. Well, get on Jesus, he'll do something. And then guess what? He did nothing. He did nothing. And I guarantee if Jesus had started, I'd have been going, bring on Havertz. At least he offers you some height. Constantly trying to find a reason to justify, well, at least we've got this ball. Like, always digging for some hope or something. I'm bored of doing that. That's what I'm bored of. I'm bored of Arsenal not being able to really kind of string momentum together this season and thinking like we turned a corner, we haven't. I'm bored of a lot of our approach, to be honest. And by the way, I don't think we played badly today. I really don't. But you just knew the questions we were going to ask of Fulham. It was going to be a cross to the back post that might win it, and it nearly did. It was going to be a set piece. It was going to be the same movements and triangles. Maybe Ødegaard and Saka work a bit of magic and flick it into Havertz, who gets a poor shot away, something like that. When was the last time we played through the middle of a team? When was the last time you just felt like this Arsenal team can attack both ways, not just all down the right, which weirdly, second half, we went way more down the left. But maybe you can see why we better go down the left now, because very little came from it. I think there's every chance that I will watch this back, or I'll reflect on this tomorrow, and I'll go, James, Fulham are a very decent side. We created enough to score the goals. We've been unfortunate with injuries. The players needed to do better in front of goal. And sometimes football's like that. And there's every chance I say that. But I just don't feel that right now. I'm being really honest with you about how I feel. I feel very deflated. I feel annoyed at every aspect of the game and the players to the manager to everything. But I also think they could all argue that on the day they maybe have done enough. And that it just didn't go for them. And there's points there. But I just feel bored of the same problems. We have a cluster of injuries in one position, so we're going to tweak the rest of the team rather than just be brave and trust the 18-year-old or trust Kieran Tierney, who is a part of the squad. I'm bored of, hoping a set piece or Bukayo Saka will bail us out. I'm not bored of this team. I think we're a very, very, very good team. I do think that. I do. Delusionally, maybe. I still think we're a very good team. But we're too hot and cold with it right now. We're too when are we going to see? We know that last season, the season before, we had a period in both seasons where we got to a level and we knew we were going to get it. Whereas now, I think this season's been more, we know we can get to a level, like City away first half, like the games since the international break up to this one. We know there's a level we can get to, but we don't have that confidence we're necessarily going to. And I'm kind of bored of that inconsistency and they're not feeling that feeling of not trusting my team at the moment this season. And not really kind of trusting in the manager and the players as much as I really want to by year 5. So I always got to end it on some context and some hope, which is that it's not the end of the world, that we keep fighting, that we should get better. I think we will get better. But I think today was just a day where I started to look at what a lot of other people are saying and just went, Havertz. I said 2 months ago that I thought he could lead us to the title. And today I don't believe that. Martinelli, today I don't believe he's the left winger for us. And do we have the consistency to chase down Liverpool, which I kept hoping and believing? Surely we can build momentum. We've shown it. But I don't really believe this team, certainly with injuries, even just a couple, I just don't believe we have that consistency in us anymore. All right, everyone, I've ranted and rambled on. I hope you can all get my message a little bit. I hope I've explained it well, quite hard after a game. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on in a bit.